Hey guys, and welcome to Mysteries of Selindor, a For the Rolls D&D campaign. I've never said that before, but I think I'm going to say it from now on because it sounds
Branded.
rehearsed and professional almost even,
until
right? I
until
like
you
that.
add this part.
Gotta
Well,
follow the
no, well,
script, man.
so it's, I just think that's a good way to start it. I like to do like a little bit of an awkward entrance. Everyone knows that. Anyways, I think we're gonna do that from now on. A For the Rolls D&D campaign. Awesome. Well, today we are playing Mysteries of Selindor, which has some of my favorite people in it: Beelan, Moodman, Simienne, Simner, and Nikita Fox, who have been traveling through this unique place within the greater D&D universe known as Selindor, which has many twists and turns, and many of which we will continue exploring today. The team has recently been separated from one another, but finally, as time has allowed, and as getting out of their terrible situations that they were each individually in and finding respite for the first time in, for us, months, but for them, a very, very long day.
And we didn't get to level up.
Each of the members of New Death have found rest and come to and finally got to communicate with one another and let each other know what's going on. As we begin today's campaign, we will start off with Oren and with Cleary as they head down towards the Grand Headmaster's office in Selindor's Academy. So, Oren, you see a very haughty Cleary walking his way through the hallway, almost dragging you behind with sort of just like panic in every move that he does as you come across this door, which you've only been to the one time since you originally saw the apperception chamber. He says, "Okay, so Headmaster, Grand Headmaster Primus. So, Owen, we're about to make a request of the Grand Headmaster to allow us to go to the apperception chamber to have audience with an individual who is under his direct protection. Do you have any idea of the significance of this inquiry?"
Nope.
But it's a lot. It's a lot. Is what it is. It's.
Are we at the door? Are we at the door right
You're like coming right up to the door. You see, like he's like turning the corner towards it, and honestly, it's not too far away from the sort of dining hall you guys go to in the main building in Logic's Landing. It's not far off from there. But as he's making the,
I was gonna say, if we're standing at the door and he's telling me this thing, I'm like, no, I don't. As I raise my hand to knock on the door.
Oh yeah, sure, perfect. Yeah, just raise your hand. You knock on the door, kong kong kong, and you see that this sort of little. Having knocked on the door, there's like this little eyeball that just sort of opens up and starts blinking at you in the center of the door.
I was looking clear. I'm like, we supposed to talk to that?
Yes. Grand Headmaster Primus. I'm Cleary Asentov, from the University of Phoenix, here to, at the request, visit one under your protection. There's a moment and the thing just blinks slowly at him.
Oren leans towards the eye. We're talking about Bropsy?
He tells him the code phrases. The code phrases, yes. Yes, we have to see Propsy. Whispers into it again. Make a persuasion check for me. Go ahead and use advantage because you're doing it with Cleary's stammering and everything, and it's not too bad because he at least knows what he's talking about.
Persuasion. Well, that's a 12.
It's a 12? Awesome. You hear a sort of intercom, like sort of wail, sort of, and then it says, "Who the heck is out there? What do you mean you're coming to see Betsy? How do I know? You are who you say you are, clear reaction tough and friend who did not introduce self."
Right. I'm Orin, friend of Bropsy. I'm sure you've seen us together.
There's just like a sort of, again, it just goes, "You're gonna have to prove you are who you say you are."
Right. How?
Headmaster Primus, we actually have quite a bit to do today, and we do this last time. We do not have time for your games or riddles. It is of utmost importance that we make ourselves, that we meet our friend, and that we travel to our destination. What makes an elephant stand out in a room? Dear God. He just clearly looks at you, and he's just like, honestly, I don't.
I mean,
Grand Headmaster Primus!
between Cleary and Orin's intelligence, we should be able to know this.
Do you know what makes an elephant stand out in a room?
Me personally, no. I don't know the riddle.
Yeah. So he looks at you, and he looks back, and he's like, I have nothing. It's big. It's an elephant. He's like, oh. That's a fine enough answer, I guess.
Sure.
Grand Headmaster Primus, please, if you would just please let us visit our friend Bropsy. It's of the utmost importance. Meanwhile, as you are fiddling with an obstinate door belonging to as far as you're still aware, nut job that runs this school, Bropsy, you find yourself having observed your changed body and not been able to make sense of it yet. You find yourself surrounded by two individuals who, one of which is a cube with a singular large eye and human-like lips that speak and poke through just the metal, and the other one is like a sort of cylindrical individual with other humanoid features as well. As you come to, you've already come to, but as you sit in this moment and just the impact hits you once again, you get an intercom opens back up, and you hear, "Bropsy, this is Cleary Assentoff. I've been asked to ask you to ask me a personal question that only we would know, so I can prove that I am who I say I am, so that I can come see you."
Personal question?
So, I didn't hear anything. Did you hear anything, Orin?
No, not yet.
Hold on, because I don't think you're gonna want to say the only thing that I can think of.
Just say it. It's fine.
Are you
fine.
in
I'm
love
gonna
with
stop
her?
making this noise because it's. But you guys, you get the other crap that going on. So what are you asking? What are you sending as a question?
I just spit out, "Are you in love with her?"
Are you in? What do you? Oh, she's talking about you, Orin.
Me?
Yes. This must be a question for you.
I don't think
Who
so.
are you in love with? And you can see that his ears are like purple.
I think this one's all you, big guy.
I'm honestly not sure. I would say that I'm enamored, certainly enamored, intrigued, Pete. Positive says, but definitely not sure, certain of love as a concept. Is love, if you think about it, if you think about it really, love is a bunch of chemicals reacting pow 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 in your brain, or maybe it is the essence of a god reaching. He doesn't stop.
Is that good, Headmaster? Is that
Can
satisfying?
Brobsy still speak?
Yeah, you guys are like on an
Okay,
open
Brobsy.
intercom right now.
Hold on. I needed that. Thank you. She's crying a little bit for herself.
You can see that the tubey one standing to your right is like, oh, try not to drip, try not to drip. Shoo, 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 shoo. She's leaking, Tube. I know, Tube. No crying, no crying. And you can see that on both sides. They've got these little like robotic fingers or pincers trying to scoop the teardrops back into your eyes.
This is what I do.
Ah. They sort of like run around hopping like awkwardly, like their legs are very springy. You can tell that they sort of like especially the cube shaped one, as he starts running away, you can see that it's almost like a collapsing telescope or something. I guess that's what it's like, the telescopic collapsing as he sort of bounces down, just so yes, but they can hear you on the other side as well.
Also, Headmaster, if you hear that, I consider that that's Cleary.
So there's just a boop, cuts off, and then there's just like about like 10 minutes pass, in which Oren, you have to go through a series of riddles that we will skip to validate, and and you guys make your way down the familiar tube and down the long winding hallway that takes you to, and there's like the reason like you get down and then there's like a door with like a puzzle and it's like 8 layers deep and there's like this whole thing and you finally just get to the door and you open it up and finally you see Cleary and Oren open the door, like, and Cleary's like, I still don't understand the elephant. It makes 0 sense. I understand the egg, the whole egg thing. That one made sense. And time, sure, obvious answer. But what the hell was the elephant question at the beginning?
I really don't know.
Oh, hello, Bropsy. And then they look at you for the first time. So, Beelan, in case you weren't paying attention, Bropsy no longer having her own wings. But just
she has like 2 feathers that are like floaty, right?
I think it's Nikita, you can decide, but I sort of pictured it being about like 5 on each side. Starting larger and getting quite small. The bottom one's only like this. But that's
they're not attached though, right?
They're not attached to anything.
Float there, sort of.
They're just the vague shape of a feather. Like you don't even see like where it would attach to the skin. It's just the feather shape.
Is it like a certain healer from a certain point in shooty game?
Oh yeah, okay.
But without the mechanical part, just the like yellow glowy part.
So like that kind of thing, sure.
That's what I imagined.
Without it being like glowy so much as just white plume. Maybe a little bit of glow. Because those are the tips. Anyways, so Cleary looks at you and
done something different with your wings?
Just kind of like looks down
and as you look at her, you realize that it's a little bit more than that. Bropsy's not the pink Bropsy you know anymore. She's pure white.
Oh boy.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Yep. No, I'm just saying you noticed your wings. I wasn't telling you anything else. But your face has gone from like the feathers are all white plumage. Like it's the same patterns and everything, but it's like all grayscale.
I mean, it was pink and gray, so.
Yeah, right. So the gray parts are
Right.
gray and then the pink is kind of just, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You're one of those little white crow tits right now.
You must have done something with the fracture, didn't you?
I didn't mean to. I didn't have a choice. I still don't understand what happened.
Are you okay though, Propsy? I mean, are you fine? Your wings. And, obviously, the change
he
of
made me
colors happens. You'll probably be back to normal soon. The influence comes into you, and oftentimes it is known for those to be temporary or permanent changes for some.
Tell me
But
about it.
I've never seen something as
Tap my
extreme.
horns.
Yeah, so your horns are there still, you know, but they haven't gotten any bigger or anything. It's like to lose something so important. I never heard of a fracture doing that before. Is that what happened?
He made me give them up.
She looks at Oren, confused.
Remember,
She has a faraway
Clary,
look in her eyes.
this wasn't a normal fracture. This is a primordial fracture.
Concept of which I'm still struggling with, but
It's not a piece of a being, it is the entirety of the being.
that is something to divine at a later time. The meaning of,
Yeah, it's a lot.
But in the meantime, Bropsy, you are safe here, of course. But if you wish to leave, convince the headmaster to approve of a certain pendant that will help protect you from the view of Northought for the time being. Unless he looks for you specifically and maybe has a large amount of focus, it should hide you from a while.
Do we need to call Yadrisma here to, like, seal this fracture or stabilize it, or I don't know.
Honestly don't know. I've never read about a fracture from a primordial before. Certainly not one that contains a primordial. I couldn't say. It couldn't hurt for sure, but I was under the impression that we needed to reach our friends sooner rather than later.
What happened with the others?
Well, we don't know
Well-
much for sure.
We know Seti
No.
and Mitnir are in the Underworld, I think it was.
Yes, I believe they're in the Underwhelm. Perhaps Coral Weave, I believe is where they said they were,
Are
but
they-
I'm not sure.
safe?
Something about being messiahs.
I think
I
they're
think-
safe, but
What?
they can't leave. So, like, I
Right.
think we'll need to go to them.
Yes. So,
As for Grim, I don't know where he is.
well, I'm certain he'll call us as soon as he's able. Assuming he's within range. If he's not, well, I suppose we'll have to find someone to scry for us.
I don't recall. Seti, did you mention anything about Grim in your message to
Ooh, good question. Well, we talked on the phone, so it wasn't 25 characters. So
Right.
I
Tell him
think I
first,
probably did. Yeah, I told him like he's in a cavern underground somewhere. That's all he
Yeah.
could tell me.
Oh yeah.
And then Cleary was like, "Oh, I bet he's in the underwell."
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot. It's been a little bit. We had a lot of crosstalk. So he says, oh, right, the Crystal Undercity is where he was, somewhere underground.
I think Grim's
The,
okay, but we just don't really know where he is exactly.
Right. I'm sure he'll call when he manages to get out of whatever situation he was in.
I believe there was a mention of kids. I think he had some kids with him.
He said he had children, yes. He said he had children.
Yeah.
I don't know how furbolgs reproduce. I assumed it was natural birth. They appear to be mammals, but...
Well, I know if you get them wet, they don't just... So...
Do you think one of his mushrooms grew up into a child?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's highly possible. It's more likely than he had a child another...
He's never let them grow that long before, as far as I know. We'll find out later.
Sorry, Propsy.
So,
The situation is serious. What
Sure.
would you like to do?
do you want us to get a Drisma here? Make sure everything's good? We can call Cinder. I don't have a Drisma's thing. I have Cinder's, though.
We could. I get the feeling that this is what it is, though.
We should probably make sure before you leave here, right?
Sure.
Assuming that you're stable, that is. The Drisma... I don't have his information either. So,
Yes, we could call Cinder, and he can...
by all means, please do. So you can go ahead and call yourself now.
Clary has Cinder's number.
Okay,
But
sure.
it's more fun if Oren does it.
You know what
I like
For us.
I like the idea of Warren doing it.
All right, fine. Oren will get his seal out.
Okay,
Call Cinder.
call Cinder. As you do it, there's a small weird you start smelling copper.
It does
For a
work in here,
second.
right? Or do we have to leave the chamber?
Oh no, yeah, you just start smelling copper a little bit as you. Oh yeah, it wouldn't work in here. You'd have to back out. Yeah,
Yep, give me a second.
yeah. So you step outside the
leave the
door,
room.
go back through the puzzles. Damn doors. Just go back through, and you're standing on the outside, and then you make the call. And again, you smell copper for a second as you try to activate it, and then you see just the flame-haired blue flames of Cinder. Meanwhile, Cinder, you are sitting inside of the tower, trying to not sitting inside. You're inside the tower, the Great Tower, in your attempts to get the risen mind of Strandi stable, because the tower itself is in havoc right now from being shunted from its material position. So you get a call from Oren in that moment, struggling as this thing is. You're trying to magically stabilize Elder Rain, or yeah. So
So he's like, what? Just straining magically right now?
yeah, it's training magically,
And his phone's ringing. It's like, ooh,
being used as a processor. Yeah.
I have to take this. Pulls out his seal. Hello? Oh, Oren. Kind of busy. What do you need? I guess I'll move to this side as Oren. Hey, Cinder. Sorry to bother you, but we need Drisma's help with a fracture that's kind of important. We're at the apperception chamber. Can he come?
The second that information enters into Cinder's head, you see from the hive mind fills the information that Yudrisma is really, really busy right now. Within the actual Nexus, dealing with things on the council that have gone really, like, they are investigating what happened in Selindor proper, and he is currently involved in... Oh man, it's hard to talk to you when you're blurry. There we go.
I was blurry?
Yeah, you were blurry for a second. It's cool. You're fixed now.
So shifting into Cinder.
So is that he's currently doing work with the council, trying to fight against this catastrophe that has come upon Selindor.
So
he does not have time for any of this
Cinder
fracture
relay
nonsense.
that information?
What? Up to you. That's just the information you that comes to you through the hive mind.
I think Cinder kind of sits there for a minute, looking like he's downloading data, like, and then he'll tell Orin, I guess, he's currently busy with the council, trying to figure out what is going on with Selindor. And then zip back to Orin. Stop blurring me out. There we go. Well, this actually might be related to that. Pretty strong chance this is related to that. Can you pass that info on?
That's already uploaded.
Boop. What
The response comes directly to you, Cinder, from Yudrisma, and through you directly at Orin, and it says, "I am busy at the moment. I will check in with you when I can. I will find you.
Back to Orin. Okay, that was weird, but I got the message. I guess we'll just wait here, because we can't leave until we get things checked out. At perception chamber. When you can.
Yeah, okay. It's hung
Bye.
up. All right, so I'm sure you shared this information with Cleary and Bropsy.
When I get back down there, yep.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be here a while.
Well, do we really need to wait here?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that if Drisma said that he'd find you, then he'll find you.
Well, it's not about that. It's about whether it's safe for Bropsy to leave here at this point in time.
Well, according to Headmaster Primus, she's clear to leave, assuming that she takes the precaution of this amulet.
Wait, do we have the amulet now?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just skipping some stuff to make things move faster. But Cleary has an amulet, yes, which is currently it looks like a disc that looks very familiar to you, Orin, because when you look, you see that it is sort of a just the edge is really what's crystal-like, the sort of like crystal-like, just rainbow-like rock, and then the rest is the pool where it seems like the light falls inside. It looks like a piece of Northoug's like portals that you've seen, almost. And it's this sort of like little gemstone that has the same appearance, and is set inside of like just a small, not very ornamental disc.
Okay, so what does she have? Just put that on, or does she have to like?
She would need to attune to it, but it would give her a sort of very specific level of prooficant scrying and detection. This one is specifically calibrated by those that have done research to block the vision of Northa.
You able to do that, Bropsy? You have room?
Let's take it. By that I mean I don't actually know what I'm attuned to because I was eating up food. I'll check in a sec.
Okay. Well, while you guys
Checking
attempt to
right
figure
now.
that out and figure out exactly what you're going to do, meanwhile, under the ground, as you ascend the steps that are now hewn, not naturally, but it looked as if somebody had carved them on purpose, leading up out of this cave where you just dealt with a living black pool. Grim, you and the children are marching your way, hopefully out, but definitely up from the cavern of a very mad and very dead dwarf.
You dude. Yeah, we're gonna go look around for other people and places. See where we go.
As you guys are walking down the hallway and making your way, make me a perception check.
No. Okay. Go. 27.
27. 27?
Yeah.
You see, the second that you walk up these steps, this room is dark, but you can still make out that there is a pile of rocks in the corner that just looks unnaturally there. And you can tell right away that they're just like, shh, shh.
The rocks are just like, hey, you, rocks, what you doing over there?
And this, can you say this? You hear like a fuck, and they just shoot off. And you see that there is a sort of moment of just chaos in the cave where there is just like black string and mass just shooting all over the place. And then almost as if a rocket fires off, collides against the side of the tunnel. And you see light begin to pour through. And when it does, you see that it pours through on a small gap through which you can see that there is just this jagged little line of green.
Jagged little line of green.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are we gonna do with that?
So to help you frame this, on one side, there is a sort of hole that this creature made boring through the rock on the wall behind you.
Nice.
You can see light through it. Looking through with the light that bathes into the room, you can see just a small green crack in the rock on the opposite.
Oh, so they're on the opposite wall. So there's green.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, does it look like green rock, or is it some other kind of green?
Well, you currently I don't have a map for this because it's a small area.
Yeah.
But currently you're in a relatively small space of about 20 foot cubed.
Mm-hmm.
But from here, like from the entrance where you're standing when this moment happens, you can't quite make out what's going on. You can't make out anything beyond just seeing that crack. If you want to approach it, you can.
Yeah, I'll approach the crack.
Okay. As you get close to it,
Get cracking.
as you approach it and begin to head in that direction, you see that it opens up and begins to peel back and expand. And this sort of chime, almost melodic chime, begins to happen as these crystals sort of shift around and move open. And you see this familiar thing that you remember very hazily from when you were a bird, of crystal opening up. And as you approach it, you see it begins to open up before you and show about 10 foot down in this crystalline tunnel from where you're standing.
I'll be like, okay, kids, I guess we're going in here.
What? Says Kobe.
I mean, it's letting us go through.
Mr. Grimm, all due respect, but I don't really want to die in the labyrinth.
What do you mean, labyrinth?
This is the crystal labyrinth.
Okay, but is there a way? I mean, where else does it go?
They say that there's a lot of treasure in there in some sort of giant vault that no one can enter. But most people die from the monsters within the caverns and the labyrinth. and
Hold on.
death and crushing.
Oh, so well, we probably don't want to do that to them right now with little kids, huh?
I'd much rather go that way. And you see he points, and there's just like this bored hole that just goes straight out of the mountain back towards Swamp Side.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm gonna like make a mental note where this place is.
Yeah, as you sort of turn and look around, you can see Swamp Side on the other side, and this creature or creatures, as it might have been, seems to have just literally drilled through it.
Okay,
so
don't worry, Labyrinth. I'll be back later with other people, not with these kids.
Sure.
I'm just talking
As
to
you-
them. It's just a rock.
As you and the kids step towards the board through opening, and climb your way through, you find yourself sitting on a small precipice about maybe 80 feet from where you were, height wise, and where you see where the collapsed rubble is and where this pillar had dropped. Swamp Side has been crushed. There are some buildings closer to the city itself, but the area where these kids were, where they were trying to show you their hideout, that has been crushed by a massive pillar.
Nice. So, is
Wow,
there a
known as-
path?
Pillar rubble.
Is there a path to go somewhere, or is it like, or am I just on a precipice?
It's not so much a path, but you could climb down, you think, or you could continue to sort of climb up. This is sort of just like a jagged, rocky rise that then sort of swoops up to the much more impressive cliff faces that set up the Howling Divide.
So, but does it look like there's any other way up, or would climbing the wall be like the only way up?
Well, you know that, like, are you talking about trying to leave the Undercity itself?
Well, I mean,
Because basically, geographically speaking, this is on the outer wall of this massive, sprawling, like, cliff face that you guys have tried exploring before.
right?
This is like sort of in the rock on very opposite side of the Howling Divide is where you guys found the abyssal ruins.
Okay.
So basically, you've got like even a mile of cliff face to climb if you wanted to make it back up that way.
Yeah, we're not gonna go that. Not with. So, but we can climb down pretty easy to go.
Oh
see
yeah.
to bring them to like what should hopefully be people still alive.
Yeah, if you want to head back towards Swamp Side or what's left of it, sure.
I mean,
That'd be easy enough.
are other bigger cities like actual civilization anywhere close by?
Yeah, so Swamp Side sits on pretty much the far north side of Selindor, like over the whole thing. And then the opposite side of that is the Underwhelm, but there's water that sort of surrounds the area in between.
Okay.
So if this where the water's thinnest, you could easily just walk across it because it's more muddy swamp than it is actual deep water.
Right.
So you can make your way back over there, and then that leads directly into the slums and the outskirts of the Crystal Undercity itself. So you can see the massive hovering crystal that is turning beneath Selindor, and the roots of Selindor moving out and gripping into the ground around him. And then there's this sort of sprawling earthen city underneath it. So there's that direction. There is plenty of people, plenty of
I just wanted to go wherever I could find a place to leave these kids. So yeah,
Sure.
we're gonna climb down and try and go find the city.
Yeah, it's easy enough to make your way down. I won't even make you roll for it. And as you make your way through over there, we're gonna go ahead and find ourselves underwater. Where just having finished a conversation with the Dawn, I believe you were to return to your room.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So the time is yours. As far as I'm aware, you're supposed to be making arrangements
Yep. So we had the phone call.
and making your decision. You have like an hour, I think, is what he gave you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had our phone call with Very Grim. I think Seti's pacing around the room a bit, kind of slowly. Alright, so I haven't quite called in the cavalry yet. Like, we asked if Idrisma could come down to verify the shard. You know, Midner, you're a good sounding board and everything, but this is a real pickle. Like, we don't know what we're being lured into here. If we go along with this, are we playing into Northod's hand and giving him everything he wants? Do we have to investigate this potential primordial like the last one and convince him to give himself to us too to protect him? Because that doesn't seem safe, putting them all in this spot, i.e. our hands. But what if Northod's already here, and if we don't go in after him, then he gets it and we've lost one? Or what if we bring everybody down here because we're stuck and we can't go to them, and then they get stuck too and we all just die?
If we're all here, we'll just fight our way out. And you've just got like fists like, yeah, yeah. But, and stuff with us is safer than stuff with other people.
Well,
Not in my pocket.
Right. I wish I could share your optimism. I'm trying really hard. I know we can fight really well, and we've been through a lot and gotten out of it. Not scot-free, but pretty well off, all things considered. Oren died and then came back and then died again and then came back again. So, like, that's pretty good. Not a lot of people can say they did that.
I'm not sure it counts as dying, when you say it like that. Because he's not really dead.
Is it really death if you come back from it? That is an interesting philosophical question. I think you might, if you ask that at the university, you might stump a lot of people.
Because I know if we asked Grim, he had the
Right, like it's a new beginning.
friend. Yeah, but they were still dead.
Yeah, that was dead. I think it was just like that person was gone and the corpse was just... I don't know. I'm not entirely comfortable with that, but I'm trying to be respectful of Grim's culture. Anyway.
But I don't know if Northoug's here. We're screwed either way. Might as well go through with it.
Well, so that's the thing though. If he is here, then I don't want to bring him Babsy. I think our priority needs to be protecting her and keeping her as far away from him as possible. So,
But wouldn't that just be leaving Selindor then?
if we could get out. I don't know how to do that.
So if we can't get out, isn't she safer with us?
Maybe. I really don't trust the Grand Headmaster. But the apperception chamber is probably the safest place for her. Oh gosh, that's like talking about keeping my friend locked in a prison where nobody can see her or,
Well, what if we just collected all of them and then we all could just hang out in there together, right? Then they're with us and we're in a box.
I guess that's not the worst plan I've ever heard. It's, if it does come to that, that is an option. Assuming we really truly believe that chamber is impregnable. But
you don't trust the guy who has.
I don't trust the
key
guy who
to the
owns
chamber.
the chamber. Yeah. Like I said, it's a pickle. I don't like pickles.
They're delicious.
Oh, they're weird.
You need better pickles. But yeah.
One of the pickles coming right up.
Oh,
Tybalt runs down the hallway.
I realized he was still listening.
Is there something like a sea pickle?
Well, there are sea cucumbers, so there have to be sea pickles. You know
You
those are
just
two
kinda, like-
different. You know those are the same plant, right? A cucumber is a pickle. It's not like a separate
As
vegetable.
they start talking about this, we fade away.
You just squint at you, like,
just there's a guy sitting behind like the other side of the wall, just with listening equipment, just going. So back in the apperception chamber. Bropsy, are you choosing to equip this necklace?
I don't have a choice, so yeah.
Does she have space for it? I don't have a item made up, but it would just be, if you want to, can you just add like the proof against location and or scrying and location or whatever?
Yeah.
Just
Please.
use that for now.
She has the necklace, prayer beads, ring of poison resist, and the shrunken head. So you gotta
Oh yeah, fuck
choose
the
one.
shrunken heads. I hated that shit.
That shrunken head's been passed around so many times.
Cause it's
Okay,
creepy. Like
It's
it's good, but it's
fantastic.
creepy.
I love
You
the
take
shrunken
it.
head. It's awesome.
I can't.
I don't have
None of us have room for it anymore.
If I had one more slot, I would.
Okay. So as you spend the time, you take this orb in your hand and you look at it, and your vision just seems to fall straight into the darkness, like it's sucking you in. And you almost feel like that's all you can see. And right as you feel like the darkness is going to overtake you, your vision comes back to you. And the necklace is on your chest. You can see the pendant just resting among the feathers.
Mm-hmm.
So you're attuned to this necklace
Yep.
from Grandmaster Primus that has been insured to be the best bet in hiding your presence for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
So as you guys as you put this on, you hear,
Well, I'll try to make everyone think you're still here. Any spies there might be? Don't worry, they should be looking at us while you're off doing whatever it is you do. It was quite a fun show. Thanks for letting me see something interesting. Cube!
Thank you.
Tube! Show our guests out.
help them, help, show them out, show them out. And you watch as a cube and tube take each of you by the hands and start pulling
Finger?
you out of the apperception chamber. Yeah, it's more the finger. Yeah, start trying to pull you out of the apperception chamber. Off you go! Off you go! Cleaning, got to clean.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's go. I guess we got to find a way to.
And I give them both a pat on the head before leaving.
Oh, they're still going with you.
Oh.
So they continue walking you out the hallway and taking you specifically somewhere.
Oh.
They say, this way, come with me, come on. And you see they're just running like with their little bouncy legs down the hallway. And then you see that they come across a section of this wall is basically just like black bricks on either side, just this long hallway. And you can see where the doors that are just sort of like there, but have sort of like fallen open down the hallway, these sort of arched doors. You can see like just torn up pieces of paper from where they had been doing puzzles on their way in. And around the midpoint, like after they've gone through all the doors, but there's just more tunnel along the way, you see they go, where to? Where to go? Here, where do you want to go? Says the cube, just like, where do you go? And he's just like shaking you and just like looking at you with a massive eye. Sort of twitching.
I think we need to go to the coral weave, right?
Coral weave.
Cleary,
Nice.
are you coming?
Oh, I suppose if you need me? No. What am I talking about? Of course I'm coming. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But if I get in the way, I can stay.
No, it's fine.
Right, okay.
We can use you, Clary.
And they say, oh, coral reef. And you see, it goes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see as they're bouncing, like, one over each other, like, sort of leapfrogging with their little spring legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they go down the thing, and they're tapping a brick, and then they tap into the brick. 5! And they push it in. And as they do, you see there's the squat one, the cube is standing on the bottom, and Tube is standing on top of him and pushing the brick, and it begins to move inwards. And as the bricks begin to fold out, and you see they actually just magically start twisting in on themselves, or at least it appears magically. Orin, you, now having knowledge of how this stuff works, see and can hear the ticking and the clockwork as each of these things swings on a pendulum back out and is folding into itself mechanically. And as it opens up, you see light pouring out of this room. And as you turn and look, there is a lit teleportation circle on the ground within this sort of metal disc that actually, as you step out into it, seems to be like underneath like just a glass canopy. And looking out, you can see the inner workings of Selindor Tower, which is just gear work and massive pillars that are all twisting and turning. And you can see all of these little things moving around, fixing things and putting them in their proper place. You see hundreds of them. Say, this way, be gone. Have fun. And try not to leak any more fluids.
Oh, don't worry, that's bound to happen, little one. And give
Keep
them a
the
pat
red
pat.
fluid inside. You don't
That one I do like to keep. Yep.
And they start laughing a little bit, and they go off to the sides.
Wait.
They're like,
How do they respond to the head pats?
oh, you head pat them?
Yeah,
They
you be good now.
be good. They go off to the side. And they're just waiting for you guys to step on the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we'll walk on.
Okay. And you see that they're sitting there.
Can we hold hands?
Um,
Of course.
Actually, I didn't mean that in character. She like coyly reaches out for a hand.
Orin will grab your hand. Doesn't even think twice about it.
If your other hand's out, Clary will grab it. If it's not, he's not gonna reach for it.
Yeah. She's reached.
Oh, then he takes it awkwardly and just like holds his breath.
Gives a little nod.
And then as you guys are standing on the circle, you see that they have like little switches on both sides, and they both flip them on at the same time, and there's just like this arc of electricity that goes and there's like this explosion of light. And you guys feel yourself ripped away from there. And the next thing you know, you just you find yourself standing underneath a lit glass dome, you suspect, looking at the most gorgeous underwater scenery of your entire life. You look and there's like a fucking like Terminator level divot in the ground where you guys have portaled into the middle of this place. You see that there are people of all different shapes and sizes go, oh, she's like, oh, are you all right? And like, there's like coughing and, and there's like smoke everywhere. Like you guys just teleported like straight into the middle of one of these sections of Coral Reef.
Oh, wow. I thought that was like, the usual teleportation circle.
Apparently not. Oh god, sir, do you need any healing? And he begins like moving around. He's like handing out potions and trying to help people. Like, well, we should probably not draw too much attention to ourselves at the same time. So you guys leave. I'll tend to these people for a second. I'll meet you.
Right. We don't really know where we're going right now, but
Just
sure.
yeah. He's just like, just then like as the smoke starts to clear, he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. An
Perhaps
experiment
he cast
gone
Pass
wrong."
Without Trace, and we just sit there.
Okay. So you guys sit there.
Wander over to an alley and wait.
Yeah, so you guys like wander over to an alley and sit with Pass Without a Trace. I'm gonna say that like 30 minutes pass. And during this 30 minutes, a conversation about Pickle continues, and then Pickles arrive. And the Pickles are in fact sea pickles. There's also a large walk through trudging deeper than usual swamp water with children that are being sludging through. You see Kobe riding on Gabe's back in the same 30 minutes, making their way through, not quite reaching any currently inhabited sections of Swampside. And then, while you were waiting for 30 minutes, sitting in an alleyway, eventually you see Cleary just like looking around. He just looks completely panicked, just looking around, and he says, "Ah, you!" And he just runs over. He says, "Where did you go? You vanished completely."
You said keep a low profile.
Well, I didn't
I
expect
didn't
it
wanna
to be
leave.
quite that good.
Hey man, we don't half-ass it.
Hold on, what is the limitations on Pass Without Trace? Could I have like whispered to
10
him?
minutes, I think.
We whole ass.
No,
things
it's an
around
hour,
here.
but
It's an
I'm saying like
hour?
could
Oh.
I have whispered to him?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and he would have found you. But I just want to say that,
If Propsy knew
there
that,
was
she
some
would have
time when
whispered.
he settled everybody down and came and found you. And at the same time, you find yourselves in a sort of alleyway within what appears to be a theme park within Coral Weave. You find yourselves just sort of sitting there for this moment, and Claire says, "Well, perhaps we should find a way to contact Seti and McNear and meet up with him."
I used my call for the day, so you call Seti?
You really gotta get unlimited plans.
Propsy pulls out her phone.
Need that
Sorry,
unlimited
Seal.
plan.
Okay. As you grab your phone,
Seal.
Seal, you you as you gesture over it, and you have the intent to call Seti. You see the mist begins to pour out between your sort of like talon-like fingers, and just sort of floods into the face of Seti. Seti, as the call comes to you while you're in the middle of eating fried deep sea pickles.
Nope.
The pickle is completely different than the cucumber. It's nothing like the same thing.
But they turn it into a pickle by putting it in brine, like salt water, like we're in right now. We're becoming pickles at this very moment.
I'm going to be delicious. Crunch.
And as that's happening, you get a call. You see that you feel like this sort of like pulsing of energy coming from your seal. As you lift it up, you see Propsy's face appears.
Propsy! Is it really you?
Hi, Seti. Are you guys okay?
We're okay, how are you?
I'll tell you about it when we come find you. But how did we find you? Where we just got to Coral Weave.
You're in Coral Weave.
Oh yeah,
fast.
note her feathers are all grayscale. By
Yeah,
the way.
no, I'm yeah. I was going to say you're less pink.
Yeah.
Look a little pale.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
You're in Coral Weave already. Just you?
No, I'm sorry. I'm here with Orin
Cleary,
and
hi.
Cleary.
Oh, you okay? And what about Grib? Have you heard from him?
We don't know yet. We probably should have tried to call him too.
We only have so many calls.
All right. Well, I'm sure he's fine.
We
And
knew where to
he's-
find you, so we came here.
Yeah, sure. I just don't know if you're going to be able to leave. We'll
What?
we'll find. Yeah, I didn't expect you guys to come already. It's a bit of a situation, but since you're here, I guess we might as well meet up and talk about it. But basically, you might not be able to leave until we deal with this guy. And I don't know when that will be. So if Grim needs help, he might be on his own.
Well, he might very well be on his own because we unfortunately were not transported to a teleportation circle, but we teleported to what appears to be a terror show of a location. The architecture here is wild, and that's speaking kindly.
Well,
there-
hey, Tybalt. Tybalt,
Yes, madam. How
What-
can I help you?
what is this place called where we are? This building?
This is the bubble of the Crimson Dawn.
Just
It is the Crimson Sphere. Yes.
right.
That's the name of this hotel?
No, that's the name of the bubble. I'm sorry. Were you asking about the hotel itself? This is called the Lavish Fox.
All right. Did you hear all that? We're in the Crimson Dawn's bubble in the Lavish Fox Hotel.
I hope that makes more sense to you guys than it does
And
to me.
if anyone tries to give you a hard time about coming in, you tell them you are friends of the Messiah.
Well, that's a
Okay.
big thing to say when you meet someone.
Yes, it certainly is. It's even bigger to be the Messiah. So that's
It's kind of weird.
yeah.
Wait, like, actually?
Well,
I mean-
it's a long story.
We'll tell you more, but it's what the fish guy said.
You know when you were a kid and you used to pretend to be something other than what you were, like a warrior or a poet or a big strong dinosaur?
Well, as much as
Well, right
As
now
much as-
we're pretending to be a messiah. So
Oh,
well, that's
not by choice, not because we think it would be a good laugh, but because it's kind of the safest thing for us to do at the moment. It was
no,
put upon us.
it's fine. But that aside, as great as it is that you've got some sort of Messiah con
No,
going,
it's really not. But
I'd love to meet you and talk about it. But in the meantime, I haven't been here before. Not sure how to get to any of these places. I will do my best. But in the interim, do you know anything about the geography of this place? Because I'd like to keep a low profile with Bropsy so that nobody notices.
right.
An
Well,
Aarakocra seems to stand out among this crowd.
she pulls her hood up more.
I could see if I have any more spells left of that type. That's the wrong sheet. Spells. Nope, I cannot send any more messages today. I thought maybe I could.
I'm sorry. I heard spells, and it just occurred to me. And he gestures towards you, and he does polymorph.
Well,
I mean, probably head for the place that, you know, I wouldn't have a problem going, but you would be kind of embarrassed, Cleary. That might be the right direction.
okay, well, where are you? We might be able to send somebody to you. Can you give us a landmark?
Wait. I'm sorry, I can't process anything right now. Because you see that he's got his face look like this, and it's like, I might be the greatest artist in the world. And as he's looking forward, Orin, you turn and you see Bropsy is what looks like some sort of fish person. Looking around you, you see that there are some people that are like upright fish, but she looks like a little goldfish. Her face is like pure like fish, just like open. Her beak has turned into like a little puffy mouth. She's got like fins, and she's just got like probably really angry looking eyes. And then she sits there, and her like her you know, her wings have turned into fins, and she's just sitting there just like,
Oh my god, Bropsy, you're adorable! Well, you always are, but now you're a fish adorable.
She's looking down at herself.
So he polymorphed her?
Yeah, he polymorphed her into a fish folk.
What kind of intelligence do the fish folk have?
Same as human. They're a completely different race. They're just a different race.
Try to make me
Well.
dumb already.
Well, you don't keep your stuff when you're polymorphed.
I know.
You might be a little dumber.
So can you guys give us a landmark so that maybe we could send someone to escort you?
Well,
don't these seals take you in directions or something?
yeah, yours is not active. I mean, for some reason, I'm allowing you guys to talk. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
They shouldn't have
They're not on
activated.
the local network.
I thought calls would work anywhere, but
No, they don't.
You,
If
you don't have the Wi-Fi password.
well,
You don't need the Wi-Fi password. But for some reason, it's working right now. So just let it happen.
She's our emergency contact. Let us make an emergency call.
we're calling collect.
Should you accept the charges? No.
But no, yeah, that you can't activate anything. You haven't been whitelisted.
Well,
yet
just
for
look
that.
around for like a big building and what it looks like, and if it has a placard or something that has a name.
I point the seal
Sure, we can
around
ask
so
around.
she can see.
We can
Make
ask
me a
around,
survival
we'll
check,
find it.
Mitnir.
Survival.
I mean, there's a lot of people around. We can just ask people where it is.
I mean, I was
That's
keeping
a
pretty good
3
tabs.
because I'm still
when
kind of
When we
tired.
came through, I was
Yeah, so
actively
you're just
looking.
worn out, but you've seen the entirety. You've been awake the whole time.
I know.
You've seen the whole city, but you've really been turned around a lot.
Like, do you see the church thing or the other bubble thing, or do you see the fish taxis?
Okay, so from where you're standing, make me a perception check, Oren.
Can I try to make some kind of?
No. I mean, you guys can also make perception checks. Everybody can make a perception check if you want.
That's a natural 1 for a 5.
Awesome. So you
I see
you
nothing.
try to look. You try to look, and as you do, you're like, "Where am I? Where am I?" You see what looks like the weirdest fish you've ever seen in your entire life, just walking. Like it's like a lionfish, is what it kind of looks like, but it's got like human legs coming out of it. But the whole body is just a lionfish, but just human legs coming out of it, just walking. And you just watch that just go by, and you can't even think about looking outside the bubble. What'd you guys roll?
I got a natural 20 for a 29.
Wow. Well, you see them. I'm just kidding. No, I'll get to you in a second. Nikita, what'd you roll?
Huh?
Did you
I
roll or
didn't
no?
roll. Sorry, I got harassed by cat.
Okay, that's fine. I can just roll for Cleary and have him look.
Oh, he's a big baby.
So he's like, I don't specifically see any of that. Like I said, the architecture here is very, very weird. There's a castle, and what looks like somebody attempted to make a minecart track, but they twisted it all up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw that coming in.
We flew over that going a direction.
Right. Well, that's what I can see up that way. They have what looks like a strange octopus carrying cups. What is this place?
I think it's some kind of torture device. Because you see people sitting in the cups and they're being like spun around really fast.
Really fast.
Yeah.
I just saw a small child vomit up what looked to be a sentient sea creature.
Well, they eat a lot of weird things down here. She side eyes the pickles.
She just pushes the plate a little closer.
Pushes it back.
You like
Just kidding.
Whee!
No, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah. So they are, from what you know, not as you can tell, you know they're in that theme park looking fucking place.
But can we give them directions from there to the bubble?
You're gonna have to
Okay.
make me a survival check now, but you can do it with advantage because of your perception check being so high. I will allow you to do a survival check with advantage.
15.
15. So the 15, you're looking through where you are. You sort of back out and look above, and you're able to gauge, based on the crystal that seems to be floating and showing that this is like daytime down here. You see that the lights haven't come on, but there is a sort of like weird, just like a glow orb like a drifting orb, just like up there, but it's lighting up the area in sort of like a daylight sort of thing. And that has like lots of fish swimming around it, creating like a sort of underwater sun. And as you look up over that and compare it to where you were and where you are now, you're able to more or less say that they are on the northwest side and you are on the southeast side. So they really need to travel all the way across Coral Weave to get to you.
Right, so I tell them that. And, I just say, if you stop to ask for directions or anything, you need to be really careful. I don't think the Don is maybe like a bit of a crime lord or something. So like,
Well, we could just ask about the hotel. Don't have to mention him, right?
Well, sure, but it's in his bubble, so people might. I think people come here to have a good time, but
The food is delicious.
it could be a little suspicious if the right people or wrong people. There's also these guards, and I'll describe what the guards that arrested us initially looked like.
Yeah, so like she describes what appears to like a big fish, basically like a massive big mouth bass.
And like what they were wearing to kind of differentiate them from...
if you know what a Lokatha looks like, and then a hammerhead shark that was like bipedal, big, muscular, and they sort of wore what almost looked like a weird sort of dark grayish leather armor that was like a uniform that they were wearing.
So if you happen to see anybody dressed like that, maybe you could ask for Phil, and maybe Phil could help if you told him that Seti and Mitnir were abducted to Crimson Dawn, and to please take you there so that... Or you could get them back.
And
Yes.
avoid the squeaky bubbles.
But that's like if things are really dire, because Phil's really nice, and his friend, I forget the friend's name, they're both really nice, and I think they would help you, but also would probably get in trouble with the ruling of the area. I don't know, this place is weird, as you can see.
It's fine, we'll figure it out.
We can stay on the phone while you travel if you need to, because I don't know how many calls anybody gets. But when you get here, we'll put you on the network.
That sounds like a plan.
Well, good luck out there. I hope my directions were good.
We'll start making our way.
Yeah, so as you start making your way across town, I'm just going to have one of you make me a survival check for how well you guys are going to get around this city.
Propsy will do this. Because I'm good at those. I
You're
say,
proficient.
knocking on wood, driftwood. Oh, I got a net. Fucking
Ooh.
what?
Welcome to the club.
All right, so as you guys begin wandering
I'm
through
so
the
distraught.
many walkways and pathways that connect these bubbles, you more or less figure out, okay, we need to head that way, and that is away from the center of this massive thing, obviously. And you find your way to a sort of exit from the theme park bubble, is what I'm going to call it. That sort of leads into a pathway that is sort of just tubed in with this glass where you can walk, and it's like those sort of like underwater aquarium things where you walk and you can see the fish swimming over and above you and around you. So you find yourselves in one of these tubes, and you guys start moving around, and as you're going, trying to suss out the location, you turn around and Orin, you don't see Bropsy. You see that there are, because you look and you see that there are several children that look like fish.
We
And-
were holding hands. I
Oh,
never
you were holding
let
hands?
go.
Okay, then never mind. I just wanted to punish
I
you for your
never let
natural
go
one.
of hands.
I wanted to punish you for your natural one, but if you didn't let go of hands,
I mean, maybe she stopped and picked up a rock for a sec. I don't know, but
I just want you to look down and see that there's just a bunch of fish children, and you can't tell which one of them is not
No.
Propsy.
She stopped for a sec to pick up a rock. All those children passed and panic. I'm right here.
Yeah, you're able to find her instantly, but there's this moment where, and you guys
I
turn around.
imagine, me and Cleary are doing the swinging thing with Propsy in the middle.
Oh, absolutely. As you guys turn around and look, though, you're with this distraction. You have no idea where you are. You're looking around. There's the bottom sides of bubbles. You can see coral buildings. You can see that there are kids sort of like pointing at you that are living under the water, just pointing at you inside of their sort of coral-hewn homes. Like you are their aquarium.
All right, so we're lost, right? Can we admit that?
Yes, I I usually do fairly well with directions, but I don't like
Same.
navigating underwater. I know Vidalkin not liking navigating underwater. It seems ridiculous, but I like drier climates. Don't particularly like wetness underwater. I don't particularly like that it makes paint run. It makes sculpting impossible. It's messy. Everything's messy.
Okay.
You did rock carve.
Bad.
Should we maybe ask someone for directions?
I suppose we should. And I'll leave that to you because I'm terrible at talking to people.
Sure, I could try.
Okay, so as you go to ask for directions, Grim, you and the children step onto the opposite shore, past where all the buildings of Swampside have been crushed, and find yourself looking at the exterior wall of the Crystal Undercity proper. You can see that there is a line of individuals, and there's a makeshift tent being set up on the exterior of the wall. Provisions are being handed out. And you can see that there are individuals that appear to be guards of some kind. They have sort of, if they're not crystal-like themselves, they're wearing sort of crystal-adorned armor, or something to that effect. But each one of them has green crystals at the tips of each of their shoulders.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, there's
I
a
guess-
line probably like a few hundred yards.
And the people in the line are going into the city?
There appear to be two lines.
Oh, okay.
One line is going into and it's breaking up into multiples as it gets closer, but is going into the provisions where they're handing it out, and then there's another line that is actual entry.
Well, we're gonna go for entry.
Okay, that line is significantly shorter. So as you find your space in there, and begin waiting, you see that you're surrounded by rocky creatures, deep gnomes, a few just like elves, and you even see a satyr. A couple of different creatures, a myriad of which, but they all look destitute. They look thin, like they haven't been well fed, but they don't look that bad considering everything that's been happening here. But they do look a little worse for wear. Some of them appear injured, and they're in line attempting to make their way in.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wait in line with these kids and get them into the city.
Yeah, as you grab your weird menagerie of children, and Orin begins his search for directions. The rest of them snack on fried sea pickles. Now we're going to take a break. So, I know Sim just got up to take a break, but we're going to take an actual break now.
Works for me.
All right, guys. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. I know I'm scatterbrained today. My organizational skills are not the best.
I was gonna ask.
So thanks for bearing with me.
You been high? Are you high?
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
you're
tired.
just tired. All right.
Maybe I should get high.
They look
Maybe
very
that'll fix
similar.
I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, no.
Maybe it'll fix me.
I don't think that's how it works.
No.
I'm just so wiped.
You can't
All right,
add
guys.
tired to tired.
Don't worry, after.
All right.
We'll be back
five.
in just a couple minutes, guys. And we're back. And as you were waiting for us to come back, you non-existent people, Grim was also waiting in line and finds himself now nearing the very front of the line with his children after a solid 10 minutes of waiting. As you approach, you see that there is a large, I wouldn't say muscular, I will say hulking, rock-like creature that is standing in front of the gate. It is mostly just made out of rocks. It has clothes on. It looks like it's got like the sort of guard apron, like an apron, but it's got like the little guards shoulder things there, and he's going, "Next." And you, as you walk up, "Furbong, haven't seen a lot of you around here."
Yep, I fell in the hole, and then
Displacement's been happening. It's been happening. All right, so you're looking to enter here, eh?
yes, I need to find a place to put these kids.
I don't know about adding more orphans to the streets of town.
We don't have orphanages.
Well, we're using most of our public spaces for all the injured. Adding a kid in there is gonna be among a bunch of hurt people.
But I mean, you don't have a place where your orphans already live. There's not a place for that.
Are you abandoning us, Mr. Grimm?
Well, I mean, I'm going to have to eventually, unless you want to come up to the surface. But I don't think that's where you like to live. So,
I don't know. I've never been to the surface. So,
it's very bright up there. You might not like it.
like Chrissy bright? See, Chrissy twinkles.
Like, you know, when the Grim casted that big pillar of light.
All right. You guys can talk about this later, okay? Y'all try to get in, you're gonna have to pay the fee.
What is the fee?
It's 10 gold per head.
Oh, okay. Here, you have your little shiny rocks.
Oh, well, I think the same thing, but we gotta use these to pay others. Honestly, if you could pay in gemstones, I'd prefer that, but...
Well, I don't have
It is what it is. And he drops it into a little collection box in front of you. Now I'm gonna give you all your markings now. Because it's an emergency separation. I'm not good at all of you common words. And he goes and he reaches out and touches the seal that he's gesturing for you to pull out. And as he does, you see that little green light underneath. It's like it's the way it's laid out. You can see like it's a disc, but then there's a little crystal hanging underneath, and another one sort of positioned below that. And so that lights up green. That'll make you able to use your seal, so you can communicate with anybody else you need to.
Okay,
great. Now, keep these kids out of trouble. Don't just dump them on someone in there. Or I'll heal hell. Here, heal. Go ahead.
Okay, come on, kids. And we'll go. I mean, if you... And I'll talk to the kids and I'll be like, if you guys don't want to stay here, you can come stay at my school too if you want. I think they'd probably let you.
I'm not sure.
We have a never-ending bowl of soup. Hot soup.
Oh,
you make whatever
wow.
soup you want.
I love soup.
That is if it... I don't know, there was a lot of shaking. I don't know if it might... I hope it's still there.
I don't know. We were living in our clubhouse, but now that that's gone, I guess it really isn't a place for us. I don't know about a school though. I'm not very smart.
Oh no, they don't. They basically just play the whole time. They don't really. Some of it's not you're too little for. Some of it, a lot of it's like you're little is bad for kids. But you know,
They look at you with like sort of innocent and confused faces. Go and make me a persuasion check.
You know, when you were
Plus 0.
introducing the hulky rock guy, I
Plus-
thought
plus
you were gonna be
7.
like,
That's
"Hi,
a 7.
my name is Korg.
That's a 7.
I'm made of rocks."
I was
Um,
definitely imagining Quark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like that, but he doesn't sound like a Korg. He's just a big old bar.
No, I'm not very convincing. I rolled a 7.
And they're like,
Perfect. Let's
I
go.
don't know if I. He's like, okay. No,
Gabe.
we can't just go to the top just because some. I know, Mr. Grimm, you're really nice and all, but you know, he probably does a whole bunch of spice up there.
What
And
is
I like-
spice?
Well, it's what they call one of the drugs that people take.
Oh, no, they definitely have drugs at my school. Yes.
Oh, see, they do drugs, Gabe. We can't go to where they do drugs. That's how
I
my
don't think they
parents
give the
died.
drugs to kids, though. Maybe they might. Some of them might.
Gotta stay away from the drugs. I want to go up with Mr. Grimm. He's very nice. We're just gonna go up there and we're gonna do drugs. That's fine.
Well, don't you think you should stay with Kobe? Right? If Kobe doesn't want to go up, he's gonna get really lonely.
Oh, no, Obi, I don't want you to be lonely.
Anyway, we gotta
I don't
find you guys
want-
a new place to stay, because, you know, Grim has to go fight some kind of, like, god thing, and I don't think you want to be there for that.
Well, I'm kind of a god now. I found out I'm very strong.
Yes, but this one could, like, just, like, he's very bad.
I'm a
Scary.
god. And you see he sort of like turns, yay! And Kobe says, "You are kind of like a god. I don't know. Maybe we could go up there since Gabe's a god now. He'll protect us. What do you think, Chrissy?" Chrissy's just like moves the crystal in front of their eyes and just.
Poor Chrissy. Yeah, no, we're going to find you a home down here, because you don't want to, you will not be good. You'll die.
Oh, okay.
It's not enough for Grim to keep you alive down here. If
I
you
would,
go and
I would
fight,
prefer not to die.
yeah, if you were to fight the thing, it would not be good. He would kill you, even if you are a god, Gabe.
Oh no.
All right,
Okay.
well, let's go find the place.
Okay, so as you begin walking through the city, the Crystal Undercity, trying to find a home for these orphans, we will switch back up top. Oren, make me an investigation check.
Technically, we're down below now.
Huh?
Under Dusty.
We're in the waters.
Oh, what was I saying?
You said up top.
Oh yeah, down below.
Yeah.
My
That's
geography gets
8.
really messed up. Everybody's low, but then there's lower.
Big ol' 8.
Big old 8. You keep trying to ask people, but they take one look at you and they kind of just like, don't look at him. Don't look at him, darling. They just walk by. Most of the people down here seem very posh, and you guys are like hardened and currently charred individuals. I mean, I guess you didn't really touch anything, but your outfit is dirty as fuck. Like it's covered in charcoal and dirt and mop and sweat and mud. Like everything's dirty on you. Bropsy's sitting there.
Prestidigitation.
It looks like a fish, but he actually doesn't have prestidigitation.
Oh,
Oh wait, he does have
magical,
prestidigitation. I think that's the first spell he
magical
learned.
clothing collect dust and stuff. I thought it was always
It's always pristine. I don't play that way unless it's something that says it's always
because when you
pristine.
find magical stuff, it's always in like mint condition.
Could be Dusty though.
I think you're covered in soot, man. I think people's. I don't play that shit unless it says this is the most beautiful clothing ever. It's magic enchantment, keeps it clean.
Now I was in a tornado, so that soot could be gone.
I'm thinking you look really. You look like an adventurer. You don't look like like somebody who's here for money. You look kind of like. You guys look like a rough bunch, almost. Even Cleary in his
Okay, is
disheveled,
Bropsy's
sleepless
clothes?
state.
I do
Wasn't
look pretty
Bropsy's clothes the
badass.
kind that could like look however?
It certainly can. I assume it was
So
looking how it
she
normally
could-
looks.
But she could make it look posh if she notices that this is happening.
Well,
Sure,
right now
yeah.
you look like a fish. So
Well, I could look like a posh fish.
No,
and
no,
you
no.
could-
The outfit's the same. The outfit's the same. They changed the person inside of the outfit. Don't
No,
worry.
probably more everything.
I don't care, Beelan.
It had magical
Don't
clothes.
care. He turned her into a fish person, just the body, and the clothes stayed on. Because I don't wanna.
Perhaps you would be upset if her clothes suddenly came off and
Yeah, if she was just a naked fish person.
humanoid. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know polymorph. I think polymorph has a limit to the things you can turn. I think it's beasts only or something.
In any case, she's now a fish person with her old clothes. Her old clothes can also change how they look, so she changes how her clothes look to look very posh.
Okay.
She tells Beelan to act like my servant.
Who's
Not
Beelan?
even Oren, but Beelan.
Sorry.
Be my servant.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm a pretty well-dressed servant, I think.
Is he also well-dressed? Is he not?
I think you're very disheveled looking. Yeah.
I have a really nice
Okay, disheveled, but
silvery sleeveless robe.
He
point
does
is,
have a nice
servant or
outfit. He does
not,
have a nice
point
outfit. It
is,
is celestial in nature. So.
fine,
but it's
I'm
dirty.
gonna talk to somebody.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
She doesn't want to talk to people, but she's forced to now. She finds a random person. Excuse me, pardon me. Sorry to bother. We're a bit turned around.
Oh, you adorable! Says like this. An individual stops as you're talking to them, and you look up at them, and they're got blue skin and like really pointy hair that comes out to the sides and like hangs like tassels on the end. It's like a super pone version of Princess Leia with the hair. They have blue skin and like the long face, like dramatically long, and it looks like they have like extra long spindly fingers. They're wearing a very nice posh outfit. Say, oh, aren't you adorable, dear? How can I help you, my poor little lost lamb?
We've been told to go to the, turns to Doran, the something fox. What was it called?
The Lavish Fox Hotel,
The
milady.
lavish fox?
Oh dear, why are you taking a child to a brothel?
This
It's a
is no
brothel?
child.
But I'm also not a child.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. Oh, I'm so sorry. I get so very confused with you fish folk people. Sometimes you're so small, but you're full grown. Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. Well, you can get your jolly rocks off at the Red
Wait,
Dome.
oh, goodness.
Oh, the crimson
Face in her
bubble.
She puts her face in her hands. Can you just please point us in the
Oh,
direction?
yes, dear. I, in fact, was heading in a similar direction myself. Walk with me, dear. And she begins sort of like
It's okay.
moving, and you can see as she has her fingers like out like this, there's an extra, what's it called? Knuckle in each hand and each finger. They're like extra, so they wiggle extra much as she does this, and she's double jointed too, so they like really dance. She's like, what is your business in the Lavish Fox, if I might ask?
To be honest, we're not quite sure. We have a friend there who got roped into some
I bet he
shenanigans.
did. Well then, what's your pleasure, dear? And begins heading. As you guys are walking, like there's like a sort of it's almost like a roundabout, but in underwater like glass tunnels. And you sort of find yourself into this almost donut, and she goes about halfway around and then hooks a right. You continue following her. Mm-hmm. You can go ahead and keep talking.
I don't know if I have a bicycle.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. So you're going there to discover yourself. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, Well, there's so much to learn. Well, and what about you? You nice piece of celestial hunk.
Browsie's like,
I'm just the bodyguard, man.
Oh, well, I bet you and your little lightsaber down there can do a whole lot of work.
Browsie.
Does it glow
Are all rough.
like a little lighthouse beacon? She starts tittering down.
I'll be right back, though. Someone at the door.
Oh, he's
If
gone
only Browsie
catatonic.
could leave. Right.
Well, as fun as it is, I believe we will be parting ways here.
Okay.
But if you go down that way and continue on, you will see the entrance to the Crimson Dawn's territory. It is not far to make it to the Grand Stacking Pavilion. That is, in fact, the Lavish Fox. While you are there, please let the Dawn know that he owes me a fair bit of money, and he should be paying it forthwith.
What was your name?
I'm looking for it, because I have so many things open. There she is. My name is catching up to me when I find it. Wait, where are you at? No, where are you? There it is. Oh, my name is Minerva, dear. I knew it was something stupid. My name is Minerva.
Thank you so much for helping us, and I have you have a wonderful evening. And she tries to give a slight bow with her tiny necklace fish body.
Oh, it's truly adorable, dear. You're truly a fish out of water. Enjoy your sexcapades. She continues on down the walkway as you guys now have an easier time. From where you are now within this tube, you can see that there is some red coral building up the base of the structure, and you can see some seedy deals going on, like on the sort of tower that is underneath, and the sort of surrounding. Because where you guys are activating seems like almost like a theme park set on top of this city of coral, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems a little seedier in the under coral part. That's like the city where the fish folk actually live. You continue moving along that way, and then we'll go ahead and say that after about 20 minutes, you find yourself coming upon the sphere or the bubble proper of the Crimson Dawn. Much of it appears to just be like a kind of gambling den bar street. I think I've described it before. There's like neon lights that are made out of aquium. And as you head in, there is a sort of stacked, tiered section of just buildings that are just in different shades of red and pink, just lighting them up from like the front. And you can see fish just moving through the air. It's really beautiful here. And standing on top of that, there's this sort of octagonal pavilion at the very top. Right then. That was a very strange woman.
Just be glad she didn't take a notice of you.
Oh, I did my very best to blend into the background. Luckily, you still had your thing up. Your passive trace would still be up, so he was just like...
Oh.
So I imagine that would be it. And as you guys are like heading in, you can see that there's like people getting pulled to the sides by different individuals looking to do some work, and it's one of those streets.
Well, let's make a beeline.
Okay, so as you make a beeline while we wait for Beeline, we will pop back down into the Undercity,
I'm here.
where
Just
Oh,
hiding.
you're just
Eating.
hiding. Nobody says these things. Their screens just go black, and then they're like, "Oh, I gotta go do something real quick," and then they don't say they're back. No, he did. I just can't hear you. Like you, who was muted. Okay. So we'll still switch over to Grim for a minute while they figure out. While he finishes eating, and you guys figure out how you want to tackle your entrance to this area.
Tackle him.
Grim, how would you like to find a home for these kids?
I'm gonna ask around using my really great, awesome investigation skills. So, I rolled 19 on investigation, asking, "Hey, do you know of any orphanages that have room for 3 kids?"
Yep, there's an orphanage down the street that way.
All right, we're gonna go down there then.
Oh yeah, put those kids in there. That's where we keep all the sad, destitute ones.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a puppy yard sale. They just go pick up an orphan, take it home with you. They do one of those adoption drives every couple of weeks. Bring them in little cute cages. See the puppy dog eyes?
that's the end of it. You guys want to go to that one? It doesn't sound very nice.
It doesn't sound ideal.
Is there
I
a
really
nicer
enjoy
orphanage?
living in the slums. We're pretty self-sufficient. Honestly, Mr. Grimm, you can just leave us here. We'll figure it out. I really only want to go to the orphanage for adoptions. I don't want to be dressed up in a little cute bandana.
Okay, well then what should we... I mean, your home was destroyed.
Oh, yeah, we can make another one. We built that one, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We built it out of rocks and things.
I mean, if you guys want to stay down here, you can.
Yeah, you've done a lot for us, Mr. Grimm. It's fine. We can figure it out. Yeah. Thanks for saving our lives and stuff. I guess we're just gonna be streetwalkers now. That's not what that means, Gabe. But yes, we're gonna be streetwalkers now.
Right. You'll be the best streetwalkers that have ever walked the streets.
Yeah. We're gonna pave them with our godlike footsteps. Yeah! I'm a god! Gabe just runs off with his arms up. Just, haha, I'm a god!
Just be like, Chrissy, please keep them alive.
They're hardier than they look. Comes like the psionic,
Yeah, it's just like...
they're hardier than they look.
Like, I know that Gabe's gonna be okay, but you know,
But I
Kobe's...
will do my best to keep them safe. Good luck.
Okay. Alright, well,
They
is
just
there
sort of
anywhere...
disappear into the crowd.
They're gone. Okay, bye, kids. Well, then first things first, I'm gonna pull out my seal and call, I don't even know her name. What's her name? Krishna?
Sure.
Is that her name?
Yeah, there's the Krishna is
The
like
hag?
one of the hags. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call her and ask if she's got my pig.
Oh, dear. Oh, it's been so long since we've talked.
Oh, you're alive. Do you have Ernie?
Of course. Oh, yes. Yeah, Ernie, the big piece of pork bacon. Yes, of course
Yes.
we have him here. He is getting to be a big, chunky boy.
Good. Grim needs to come pick him up, but I don't know how to get out of where I am, so I'm going to have to figure that out. Because I am in the Undercity.
Oh, the Undercity. Oh, that's fine, dear. I'm sure you can pay the fee. Head towards the center of town. They've got transit like everybody else.
Which part are you in again?
Oh, me. I am in the Twilight Town, dearie.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
But yes, Ernie, we can transport to any one of our 4 locations, conveniently located in each of the outer Nexium.
I can't remember. Where's the school again?
The school is off on the bridge that is above the Underwhelm, so it's away from the city by about 10 miles.
Is there a Krishna shop that?
Not that you know of.
Okay,
Actually, was Ernie at the Krishna shop?
he might have been. He was either
I thought
Krishna or he was at the school.
I think he was at the
Uh,
school already.
It might be.
I'm gonna roll for it, man.
It could be at the school. I mean, if I
I just checked. He's not actually here, dear.
oh, he must be
I
at the
don't
school
know how
then.
we lost track of such a big old pig.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Would I have contact info or like like seal? Would I have like touched seals with any of my guildmates? Probably, right?
Yeah, I'm sure with Brogy.
All right, I'm gonna call Brogy and see if he's alive. Ring, ring.
Buenos dias. Don't know why it's more Spanish, but I'm very excited to see you.
Brogy,
You're alive, and I'm very happy about it.
you are alive. Do you know if my pig is alive?
Brogy doesn't know anything about the pig. Nah.
Okay. Are you at the tower?
Brogy is busy. Brogy is doing stuff with his spores.
Brogy, what about spores?
I'm doing things. Do not ask about the experiments of Brogy.
Are you at the school?
I am not at the school.
Not. Okay, so you were there. Alright, I'm just gonna come. I'm coming to the school. I'm going to get my pig.
Okay.
And I need to get my mushroom.
I do not fall asleep, or I will still said I eat all these insects.
Okay. Bye, Brogy. You've been a great help.
I'm so
And then, and I'm gonna go make my way to the center of town.
Okay, so if you'd like, you can take your time in the center of town, or if you want, we can just skip some time and have you go to a location of your choice. It's going to cost you 100 gold coins
Nah,
for
it's
the
fine.
teleportation.
Yeah, I just want to be able to get to the school because I have my mushrooms there, and apparently I have my pig there. So I need to get both of those things,
Okay.
or at least make sure they're okay.
Easily enough, I will go ahead and speed that up and say you make your way back to the school. You teleport back to the general use teleportation circle within Selindor.
Okay.
Cost you 100 gold coins to do so. You find, looking around, that currently your pig is being kept at the school that Bropsy works for in their zoo. And it has been well fed there.
Well, that's good. Is my tower still up? Are the
Yes, but it's cracked. But they have decided not to fix it because the crack looks like a big giant vein.
Oh, okay.
Running right up the side of the tower.
That's on theme. Okay, well, as long as I know that Ernie's okay, I'm gonna go check on my little baby mushrooms too.
Yeah, so you go up and you check on your mushrooms. They seem to be doing fine. You see that there is Brogy is tending to the mushrooms when you get there. He's like,
I was not touching them.
These are my fancy ones, right? My
so
big ones.
you can see he's been sitting there taking notes and taking care of them specifically.
Brogy, don't touch those, or else there's a big scary lady who might just destroy you. So I'd be careful with that.
I was just putting wet rice on the ground for them.
Okay, that's good, but I don't want you to get like smoked, you know. So.
Oh, okay, all right. Brogy will be very careful. Very secret.
Okay. And then I guess now that I know that my mushrooms are safe in the tower is still there, so I can get those later. Because I don't want to carry them around if I can help it. Then I guess I'll go get Ernie and call the other guys. I don't know.
Okay. So, we'll say that it takes a small amount of time. Oren, Bropsy, you guys find yourselves outside of the Lavish Fox. Looking up the massive steps, you can see that there is a little bit of security as you work your way up to the higher tiers, there seems to be like individuals standing on the sort of platform that would be like the central stairs. There's like platform for each level. You see that there's buildings on both sides, but on the steps themselves in the middle, there seems to be somebody who is granting access on each of the different tiers. Okay, Beelan, I see light, but I don't hear anything, and Nikita hasn't said anything.
Is Beelan there?
I am here. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
I was chewing.
So what do you guys like to do? Or is there anything that Mitnir and Seti would like to do in the interim while they're trying to figure out what they're going to do? Because you guys are now within 100 yards of each other.
I mean,
so you can also just communicate with your fucking
with the
rings.
ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Seti, I think we're here at the front door. I guess it's the front door.
Right. Oh, okay.
You're muted, Sylvan.
Okay.
Excited mute.
My button's not working. Okay. So she like leaps up, like, oh, the rigs. Okay, they're here. And I'll go like poke my head out in the hallway. Like
you look out in the hallway and you see that there's just Tybalt, and he just backs up from the door and just tries to look casual.
Hey, Tybalt, my associates.
Yes, my lady.
My associates have arrived. From...
Your associates.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
They are here outside the door.
Right.
Can we?
Yes. I will bring them here forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Right.
You guys watch as from the third tier
Tybalt is
this
coming
little-
to get you.
comes this little fish on two legs. His head is facing straight upwards, and he's got an eye on the side, and he's going... and he sort of like runs sideways a little bit, and he leans to turn. And as he makes his way down to you guys, he gets there and goes,
Oh, salutations, friends. Welcome to the Lavish Fox, the territory of the Crimson Dawn. I am hearing that you are associates of the Messiahs.
That is correct. Yes.
Wonderful. Are you also Messiahs?
Look around. lean in. Like,
Oh, we'll find out
Yes.
soon, won't we?
ooh, and starts walking back up the steps.
gonna make a scene.
And as you guys begin making your way up the steps, you are soon reunited with your friends.
Hugs. She doesn't
And
just
tears.
stand. She just said he goes and gives everyone hugs.
Give me a hug.
Hugs.
Wait,
She-
waiting
she-
for? Get over here.
Hold up. She does that. Y poses and fucking stares dead into Cleary's soul.
Hugs.
It's so good to see all of you. Get in here. I'm so glad you're all alive and not hurt too badly. I hope. Anybody hurt?
Yeah,
Okay.
as you go, and you there's a fish that walks up to you.
I saw Bropsy as a fish.
Oh, you saw Bropsy as a fish.
Yeah.
Okay,
She saw
so
the
you see Fish
transformation,
Bropsy comes up, just
Oh, hello. Somebody's a very attractive. Oh, sorry.
he's just whispering to himself. He's not talking to anybody. He's like, "Ooh, look at that attractive goldfish. Oh, wow,
yeah.
real."
I would like to look
Really?
right at them while they drop polymorph. I'm kidding.
Oh,
I've been incubated again.
Maybe
Oh,
should have dropped
he's like-
that before like coming in.
Oh no, not again.
you can make it into the room before you drop it. Clearly will drop it when you guys make it to the room. And as you get there, and you say hello to each other yet again. There's hugs and there's greetings, and Cleary walks up to Seti, and when you guys meet, he's like, "So good to see you." And he extends out a handshake.
Perhaps he's gonna push him in.
Shakes his.
Okay,
No,
you
I'm
push
not, I'm
him
not
in so
kidding.
that his
Perhaps he's pushing them
so that his hand
together.
just like goes like dead towards you. Like there is an outstretched, awkward hand coming at you like a knife.
Can I dodge it and go in for a hug?
Yeah, make a dexterity check for hug dexterity.
She's just like frozen.
Just rolling at one.
Acrobatics
so it just hits
check,
you
actually.
right in the.
Acrobatics,
Ruby.
that's a different thing entirely.
I can use the same number and add the different modifier.
Oh, there it is. That is a 17.
17. You deftly take his hand and pull him to the side and bring him in for a hug. And he goes, "Oh, hi, hi."
It's so good to see you. I'm so glad that is everything okay at the school and
Yes, everything's fine. Let's go. Yes, everything's fine. There's lots of damaged buildings. The tower almost felt like it was going to teeter and fall for a moment there, but
What? Why?
Well, it's a funny story. Everything started to sort of fall apart momentarily. Very soon after I got a call from all of you, I assumed you were involved. And I assume it probably has everything to do with this primordial. Things started falling from the sky.
yeah.
Ships crashed into the side of the tower. Airships dropping.
We did not know that was going to happen, to be fair. But it did sound really bad. When
Yes, and I heard explosions coming from Selindor as well. There's still fires raging.
Perhaps he's gonna
I'm really sorry.
sit down, put her
about
head in
that.
her hands.
We didn't know what was going. I mean, now we know, but in hindsight, it should have been obvious. But
You know,
It was me.
technically, it's the summer soldiers' fault for sending us there.
well, it's everybody's fault for going there in the first place. I had the suspicion from the very beginning that these dungeons were not what they seemed, and people should maybe not be delving because you never know what you're going to find. And after we lost 2 months, I thought, we should probably be careful now. And now, look, the whole universe is at risk, or the world, or the plane, or whatever the fuck. And if people would just stop looking for things that don't belong to them, none of this would be happening.
But I like looking for things.
I know it is a lot of fun, but
It is probably very important at some point that we speak to, well, I suppose Drisma might be a good choice for that, since apparently he is going to meet us here. Or wherever we are, he said he would find us.
oh well, I
So-
asked you. I guess I asked you to ask Sindor to send the Drisma down here. I believe.
Right. Well, roundabout ways, we made it there.
Okay.
We told him we
but
needed
he
to
should
see
be
him,
here
and
to
he was
deal
gonna
with some.
find us.
Right.
All right. Yeah, he would probably be the person to ask about. Well, again, don't know how much to trust anybody really, but I feel like we don't have much of a choice with him. He already knows a lot. So, yeah. I don't know if it's happening. And I drop my voice and make sure to both door closed.
Just standing in the middle of the room.
Oh.
Another one of everything, please.
Right you are, sir.
Thank you very much, Tybalt. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Anyway. Oh.
I'm sorry?
You're good, Tybalt. Thank you.
Bam!
I do like him a lot. He's kind of adorable, but in, kind
The
Anyway.
last puppy kind of way.
yes, exactly. Now, so, you have kind of the gist of what's been happening to us. This Crimson Dawn has caught us. When we arrived at the place that was apparently some religious site, and we weren't allowed to be there, and we weren't supposed to be there, but somehow we were. So the Dawn has claimed us as some sort to sort of unsettle the market and the populace down here, so that he can squeeze out the religious order that sort of guards the ground. So Anyway, it's a power play, and he doesn't believe in any of this religious stuff at all, and primordial deals and all that stuff. He doesn't think it's real. But I think it's a water primordial that is producing some kind of thing that they are all using, like energy and currency and stuff. And if we go there, and I'm just
Then
worried
you'll just
it's
slide the vial thing over to Arn that's got the squeaky bubbles.
oh yeah,
in it.
that stuff. That's the stuff that they want. And I'm just afraid
It just
that
looks like a thing of marbles more than anything else, but like very pristine, clear-looking marbles.
Neat.
that happened again. That will wind up in another situation where we have to protect the prime or are leading north up straight to something. I don't know.
It's kind of funny that you guys ended up somewhere you
Well, that's
shouldn't,
what I was
'cause,
thinking. It's like, how
so
did we
did
get
I.
into this? We fell from the sky, and we fell right there at the religious site, and they happened to. I mean, come on, what are the odds? So I can't help but feeling like somebody wanted this to happen.
You won't believe where I ended up.
Where did you end up?
You haven't told us.
I ended up inside a volcano in like some princess's bathing room.
What?
What?
Yeah.
In what?
So you
And
were
there-
peeping.
There was a naked princess in there.
So you were peeping.
Orin, I
You
taught you
like-
better than that.
Fell out of the sky straight into the bathroom of a princess who happened to be naked at that same time.
Does not have a seat.
I went
sorry.
right into
I'm sorry,
the
are you
volcano.
talking about the Brass Palace?
Yeah. Princess
Oh my
Caldera.
god! My god!
Yeah.
You're gonna be beheaded, man!
Oh yeah, I know. It was
Well, what happened? How? And I mean, okay, so now if we're applying, you were meant to be. Somebody wanted that to happen.
it's luckily I had the fracture that I have with me, or I would have been instantly melted.
Oh my god, indeed. Well, we do have a lot to talk about. An absolute ass
Long
load.
story short, she helped me escape with her dad's teleportation circle,
Huh.
whom I met. He's a
She
pretty nice
helped you
guy.
despite you falling in on her while she was naked.
Yeah, it was a little awkward at first. But, once she put some clothes on, everything was fine.
Right.
Well, I will say this. Definitely do not let the Sultan know that you are, in fact, that you have, in fact, seen his daughter disrobed.
Yeah, not,
Keep that on the down low, as it were.
nobody knows that, but, well, I guess us know and her.
Yes, honestly, you shouldn't have told any of us, because that's more people that they could torture to find out information.
Well, I won't
Information
tell
about
them.
what?
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
I met the Sultan.
Oh, yes?
He allowed me to use his teleportation circle.
Really? That... You always surprise me. You're...
I
all of
mean,
you.
I was just saying to Mitnir, this is the guy that has died twice and come back. So what are we surprised, really?
Are you dead or
are-
not dead?
Yes,
Me?
also,
No.
we have a philosophical question to introduce to the school for academic debate. Mitnir has posed, if you come back from death, is it really death?
Maybe it's
Ah.
a life vacation?
We're gonna need a minute.
Oh, would it
How
just be
long
like
before-
a spiritual exploration?
You see Tybalt comes back, he's like, 1 of everything, 2 of everything, sorry sir, 2 of everything.
That would be something else, Mitnir.
Coming in, hot and cold and all the temperatures in between.
Thank you, Tybalt. Apparently the food here is quite lovely. The seaweed salad
So
is
as you
quite lovely.
guys get your food distributed and continue talking and catching up, I'm going to say about an hour passes, and then suddenly the door swings open. Another of your companions has apparently arrived. And you just see
Ernie!
as a massive pig, bigger than the door will allow entrance to, shows up, going. It is now as tall as Grimm's shoulder.
Is Grim
It's
with him,
just
or is
Ernie. It's not
it's
even
just
Grim.
Ernie? They just delivered the pig.
Well, Ernie just is the first thing you see when the door slides open. It's just.
Ernie, how'd you find us?
You got huge.
He like turns
Did I
around and
find them?
sniffs and noses Grim, who comes up from behind.
I'll need to give him chin scritches.
Just in
Good
time for
boy.
the buffet.
He gives you
Yeah.
like little pig kisses, which, considering his side, he almost is like just like slobbering your face.
He's almost big enough to ride. He's getting there.
He's big enough to ride.
Lollipop in your head right now.
You're gonna need a stable for that guy.
Yeah. So this pig, by the way, at this moment, weighs about 6,000 pounds.
Big boy.
He
Strong
cannot
How much does a
enter.
car weigh?
About a ton.
Less than that. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000 pounds, basically.
Yeah, it weighs about 1,000 pounds.
He's like a big truck.
He's solid. Imagine if a car was or a truck was filled with just solid meat. That's what you're looking at here.
He's like a minivan full of bacon.
Minivan full of bacon.
So, right. Putting aside Ernie for a sec, Grim, I'm so glad you made it. How are what? I don't
Ernie
see.
walks through the door, pushes past you guys, stretching the door, like kind of snapping the wood that's holding it, and goes straight to the table and just starts
boy.
eating. Just
That's my boy.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no, the kids are fine. They didn't want to come up from the city. They wanted to, they wanted to go live in the slums, I guess. I told them it's good because they didn't want to go get killed by Northot anyway. I fought a big
what?
pile of goop. I killed a really big dwarf and took his hammer. And
You
his,
have a huge sword on your back.
I got
Yeah, it's
this
just
huge
like
sword. Yeah, this was from the
pitch
big.
black sword just tied onto his back.
Oh, maybe Cleary, can you tell us what these are? Maybe. Well, it's not the time for that, but I mean,
So
we
all
probably.
of you guys did all these things, and we just swam in the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
killed
didn't-
like 3 different things.
Wow.
I didn't even tell you what happened after I left the caldera.
There's more?
Well, yeah, I went back to the summer soldiers, and everything was on fire. Buildings were falling apart. People were running through the streets. There was like a swarm of mushroom people that were all on fire. It was crazy.
Oh
There was
no!
fire
What?
tornadoes.
There were mushroom people on fire. Are they okay?
They're a little crispy, but they're fine. They're fine.
yeah.
Oh, I
The
saved
poor babies.
I saved a kid. Left him with the town guard because I don't know whose kid it is, but
And I saved 3 kids, but
I
nobody's
also
counting.
saved.
We weren't gone that for long. How do you all have kids suddenly? I don't.
I also saved. Oh, what? It's not Dandelion because that was somebody else. Is one of them flower peoples?
The other one that we can never remember their name.
Yeah. The one we talked to all the time at the Summer Soldiers.
Sorry,
I saved her.
I wish we had been there to try to help. We kind of just got taken prisoner
too,
and then taken prisoner again.
We,
Although we do have these nice pillows.
We have a reward coming from the Summer Soldiers for
Oh.
me saving people.
Well, that's nice.
Right. Well, so Cleary says, "Well, I'll take a look at these. What do you have that you need him to identify? By the way,
I mean, basically, just I took the Dwarger's hammer
the hammer and the greatsword.
and the great sword. I don't think the javelins are magic, though, right?
Javelins are not magic.
Yeah, just javelins.
So
But-
Clear's like, what we're talking, and so he gets to work with like pulls out a pearl and starts focusing and sketching them into his book while he holds the pearl over it, sketching him onto crumples.
And yeah, this pull my background. This fracture came in real handy. It was like putting the fires out whenever I got near it, so I never got burnt.
Huh.
It has like some sort of fire-resistant aura or something. I don't know. It's pretty neat. Came in real handy.
I wish that I had something that made me not get hit by rocks, because that would have been really nice.
Yeah, as you
Called
hold
a
the
helmet.
fracture there, it looks like significantly smaller and a bit like if a fracture could look nervous.
Put it back in the bag. This thing's
Being
been
surrounded
like
by
my
water.
life-saving buddy
Mhm.
right now.
Maybe we should plan on doing something with that when Idrisma gets here as well.
Oh, should we put this in your pack? The one where people can't see stuff?
Yeah, we can do that.
Can any of us still eat any of these?
'Cause,
I've
I mean,
eaten 2.
We're underwater, right? So I don't
I've-
really have a risk of burning.
I've only got
Here.
one myself, right? But
Oh, and who is this fish?
I mean, you could always use that one, Seti, if it,
Tibble?
you mean
if it's
Tybalt?
good.
Wait, no, does Brapsy still look like a fish?
No,
Perhaps
she's
he's
back to
got it.
prophecy.
Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, yes, you, Tybalt. Oh, nice to meet you.
Yes, well, I'm very happy to be here, sir. By the way, my brother Messiah
Bows down to Mitnir.
we could really use a response for the Dawn soon. He would like to announce this forthwith. So as soon as you're ready, assuming you have your compatriots, your timing is just about up for him to announce the Messiah's arrival. We've already started spreading some rumors, but we need.
So
course.
I think Seti and I agree to be these messiahs.
Oh
Well,
no!
the whole
Yes.
thing was contingent on authenticating the fracture he offered. And our authenticator has yet to arrive, unfortunately. But
Oh, so none of these are authenticators. None of these people that you
Well-
brought here. You're just bringing a party. No,
Well,
that's
yes.
fine.
they're consultant, and
Consultants
If-
to the Messiah.
if we are going places that might be unexplored or
Make a persuasion check. With disadvantage because of the pig.
well, I didn't ask for the pig, but
And the worst chicken roll is a 10, right? So
that's true. Oh, even with disadvantage, that is a 24.
Right, consultants, obviously. And the pig is for carrying things underwater?
Comfort
This is-
animal.
it's my boy. It's my
Oh.
it's my baby pig.
Very well, I shall inform Lady Ushiden. Hopefully, she can persuade the Dawn to wait on the announcement until later. But it needs to happen soon.
Leary, would you be able to? Just a basic examination of a fracture. Can you do that?
I can determine that a fracture is indeed a fracture, but I feel like just about anyone can.
Right.
The quality of which I will do my best. I am not certain as to.
You'll probably have to do for now.
He is a junior authenticator, so
Right,
Oh.
I'm an authenticator. Fantastic. Well, I shall let Lady Ushden know, and she shall bring the fracture to be seen here. Granted, we will have guards involved. No, you don't run off with it at the
of
time.
course not.
So I will go get Lady Ushiden.
And so he heads off, just turns the corner. A few minutes later, while you guys are doing that, Cleary in the middle of this. By the way, this is a dwarven made hammer. Very powerful. Honestly, the information you see, he's got a sketch drawing of it. It's got like all this information written out about it, all surrounding it. So this is a dwarven thrower.
Okay.
Ooh, neat.
So, well, something nobody uses hammers, right? We could probably sell this, huh?
Thor's hammer.
Yeah, it's a dwarven thrower. He's like, and this is the information I got. I didn't have time to start on the greatsword yet, but I will start well on it as soon as possible. As soon as we're done with this, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll add it into my sheet here, I guess.
So
I mean, I knew what it was. I just wanted to confirm.
Yep, a few minutes pass, and then you see Lady Ushidin walks in. And those of you who haven't seen her see this beautiful woman in a slender blue dress. Her skin looks to be made of water, and you can even see like particles and almost like looks to be sea life within her. As she moves forward, you can see like her hair is just water, just moving like waves of water. And she goes, "Hello." And she's holding a box in her hand. "I'm here to have this tested. Which of you is the specialist?"
Just points at Cleary.
This is Cleary. He is a junior authenticator. Our
Heads forward, and Cleary just looks at her and goes, "Yes, I'm authenticator."
Orin nudges him.
Sorry, do you think? Sorry, I've heard so many stories about the Nereid, and it's just amazing to see something of your caliber in person. Thank you very much. It is nice to be recognized. He kind of like blushes a little bit, and then he like looks at Seti, and he's like, "Ah!"
I thought it might be rude to say something, so I did.
Yeah, but he's like, he sort of side eyes, he just looks and he's like, "We're surrounded by beauty," and then he's gonna be like, "May I take a look, please, Lady Ushidin?" She says, "Of course." She pulls the bag of it, the box open. It's like just this little wooden box made of driftwood carved into it, and she opens it up, sits on this little piece of satin, and it is just like this pure, clear. It almost just looks like a large piece of aquium in a ball. There's a little bit of like opalescent light coming through it. It just looks like if you were to look at the sun from below the water. He goes, it's definitely plane of water. And I'm going to go ahead and make a...
We were told this was a piece of Agar itself.
I believe that based on what I can see from this fracture, it's definitely an essence. I don't know anything about Agar. Definitely essence of a quite high purity. Of what I know about water elemental fractures, this one is the purest I've seen. But that is all I can tell.
Well,
that is about all most authenticators can tell from something so pure and close to Agar.
Does Brapsy get anything off of it because of her?
Are you gonna attempt to like see if Zephyros if Zephyros is giving you any feel or anything?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me a Arcana check.
Nope, that's a 6. I'm rolling shit.
Yeah. You try to like reach out for like this with this energy and breathe deep and try to like feel Zephyros, but you just don't. It just doesn't click.
Well, thank you, Cleary. Thank you, Lady Ushidin. I think that will suffice for now.
Very well. May I tell the Dawn that you bless you, dear?
Sorry.
Bless you again. Is there any chance that I can bring good news of your acceptance to the Dawn?
We will be asked. At this point.
Good. The announcement will be made shortly then. We will be needing you all up at the pavilion.
Of course.
Very well.
Better get cleaned up then.
Yes.
Yes.
Seti,
In fact,
can you?
in fact, and she claps, and they come in with a wardrobe, and they start measuring you guys out. and attempting to find things to fit you to make you look messianic. Yeah,
Messianic.
like messiahs. Messiah or something, I guess makes sense.
Messianic. That's the word.
Messianic. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Great, my degree came in handy for something.
nice. How would you guys like to? How would you guys like to be dressed for this? I will let you choose, but they're going to be dressing you. So you guys, ostentatious is the name of the game. So how would you guys like to be dressed for your?
Oh man.
Grim's
I
not
know
going
I'm
to change.
asking you guys to like have a creative, like
I was
instantaneous moment without prior practice.
I kind of
or
think
proper-
maybe like glowing blue, like the color scheme being very aquatic, like
Mhm.
foam, like fading, third kind of feel and corals stuff, like sunset kind of.
Yeah, so like a really flowy material.
But like maybe like, and then like a big like veil that like covers the whole thing. Like it's just all very drapey and like very kind of like.
Here's what I'll say.
Somewhat.
Not only do you have like that drapiness, but the veil actually attaches. Like up here, you've got the veil, and the veil actually flows into the dress.
Yeah, like
The
it's
veil
all
and the
kind of
dress are
one
just
piece,
one
but like
piece.
it's very like showy and somewhat like the whole way.
Yeah.
And just,
What's underneath, I will say, will go ahead and be almost like a very intricate sort of leather tight suit that is made out of what appears to be like sort of scales.
Yeah.
So it's like sort of this almost like turquoise like bodysuit made out of these scales, just below this like flowing sunset, like oceanic looking veiled outfit. Very nice. Okay.
Oren doesn't know fashion. He grew up in a temple. So he got a white robe.
Yep, he wears his same outfit, but they fancy it up a bit. They just add like, here's a cape. Minier.
So I'll go off of Seti's lead for like the flowiness, but so I get some like nice pants for the like underlayer, but then kind of like the robe like, not skirt, but you know, like kind of like the Egyptian idea of like
like the
a
sort of like
longer,
the tail,
yeah, but you know all the way
like
around,
coattails,
and
but just from
Yeah.
the
and then refuses a shirt still.
Okay, yeah. So you're standing there, this really fancy like wrapped
just
belt.
sleeves.
No, I'm
Just
gonna
sleeves.
yeah, just no shirt, no sleeves.
Just sleeves, no shirt.
Yeah. So you just got
like
this shirtless dragonborn standing there with just like the outfit wrapped around, like nice, and then you see that they actually come in and they put dress greaves, I guess they are, but they're just like shin guards basically, and they put them on the front of your legs.
But to match the idea of like the veil thing, and that get like
a little
kind of like a cloak, but just has like pieces that go down over the shoulders and then down over the back.
Yeah, so it's just like a sort of drape.
Yeah, so it just kind of drapes over. But
I want to say that it's actually kind of like a poncho, but it's all flowy. Like it's like the way that the cut actually is, but it just looks like this flowy bit on you. It looks extra frilly, and you really hate wearing it.
Just kind of like, yeah, okay, fine.
I think we
What
should
about
all
you?
have capes.
Well, she's got the flowy dress. You have a cape that just sort of matches things, but you've got your silver on. They're like, this is actually a very nice armor piece. We'll allow this. Very nice robe. Super high fashion. Grim.
Hey, it's from the celestial realm, man.
Grim is gonna put on his fez.
Mm.
His, well, I forget what color. It is some obnoxious orange with purple tassels, I
I
think.
want to see it. It's like, yeah, it's really
And then
bad.
he's gonna use his disguise self ability to just make himself look like he's wearing a ridiculous outfit that matches his hat.
Oh,
Just
beautiful.
as
You're just absolutely the wrong color to match anybody.
because I'm not
else.
gonna, he's
You are-
not gonna do anything to his mushrooms, but he can disguise himself.
Yeah, so you're orange, and purple and vibrant and
Like stashes and poofy sleeves and poofy legs.
You've got like those, but like you've got like 6 poofs on your arm, like one at the top of the arm on each shoulder, one on like each elbow is super poofed out and just like frilled, and then at each
little mushroom cufflinks.
Oh yeah. Very, very ridiculous. Very over the top. Matches nobody else.
Perfect.
Especially
That's
with
how you
your
know.
blue fur covered skin.
Yup.
Bropsy.
Bropsy's style is still pretty similar. She will match colors to Sethi and add, like, embroidered aquatic druidic kind of stuff, like waves and corals and fishies.
Okay.
Which you can just do with your armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just does it with his armor.
That's
He's
exactly
like,
what she does.
Do
I
we
mean, I
still
could
want to
just
lay
do
low
this guy's
with
self as well, but I
with
want a nice
Bropsy
choice.
and have Bropsy still appear as a different creature?
I
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Could
might
be
want to
Messiah.
Her hood up.
save our
She could put a
resources.
veil on her hood.
All right, so you do a veil also. That does it. It's like, oh, totally sold with the veil. Cleary's gonna go ahead and just have basically just like a suit that is just made out of the same scale-like material that is underneath Seti's veil outfit. And he's just gonna have something made out of the same sort of pattern and material. And he's just gonna have like he's gonna have a black shirt and like a buttoned up like blue tie. This is just he's striking a very blue figure.
I'm gonna lean into Midnight and be like, hey, should we all have these veils, or are we supposed to be hiding our face?
How am I supposed to see if I'm wearing a veil?
Well, it helps maintain a little bit of the mystique. No,
Ooh, I could wear my mask.
people won't recognize you from walking around town, or if
I'm gonna wear my mask.
if we come back in the future after this whole thing blows up in our faces or their faces
Inevitably.
then it would be okay because they wouldn't know who we are if we are a bit confused.
But why would you conceal this?
Well, all of the reasons I just said.
Orin just puts his mask on.
All right, so as
I
you
don't know
guys
how he would conceal the shape of a
find-
dragonborn head.
yeah, as you guys find your way up the
With a veil.
up the remaining tiers of the lavish fox. Is that what I've been calling it? Yeah, the lavish fox. On your way up, you see that standing at the top is this individual, the married Garblock, the Crimson Dawn. And as you approach, he goes, we will be making the announcements.
Of course. My associates. And she kind of turns back over her shoulder to look at the people talking. To be done?
Well. First things first. I will use your idea. And he puts a bubble on top of his head, and it's filled with water, and he just. Very well then.
Oh,
This should help with the announcement, shouldn't it? Now.
absolutely. How lovely.
Much better.
He just looks really awkward with just like this water-filled bubble on his head. Well then.
So you know what, too, Gagnor? I'm gonna augment my thing with having a hood, so I can kind of like, instead of a veil though, just a big hood over my head.
Nice, awesome. As you guys, he leads you into his very lavish, to meet the name, pavilion at the very top with the pillows and everything. And he says, "I'm just stand in a semicircle here, and we'll take care of this. Be prepared. We're going to make waves." And he gestures out. And as he does, you see rising from the center of the room is a very familiar looking device. It looks like the sort of capstan that you saw on the airship that took you to the Trial of Elements. And as he gestures his hands over, it floats up before him, and it's sort of got all these pieces of metal, but it's just hovering there in the air in front of him. And as he focuses on it, he says, "We will now broadcast to everyone who's present within Coral Weave. And as he does so, you guys watch as it lights up for a minute. It says, Denizens of Coral Weave, I'm the Crimson Dawn, the married goblin. Today I have announcing for you on this auspicious day that Aegar has brought to us chosen ones. It seems very like nothing to you guys because you can't hear anything on the other side, but he's just performing this to nothing. These here individuals went to the Cauldron of Aegar, the Cauldron of Purity, during low tide, and brought upon them was high tide, and offerings from Aegar. We are here announcing that Aegar has new chosen, and that these chosen are being called by Aegar. Times are changing, and the Sea Swan must allow these chosen to seek out the truth, as they are called, the truth of the Cauldron of Purity. I give you your chosen. And as he moves away, the thing sort of hovers out in front of you guys. And
You all strike a pose.
you all strike a pose. Give me a general performance check. Give me a performance check for each of you.
Seti has also used prestidigitation. Wow, I got a 14 for my performance, but
9
to create
I got a 20.
Yeah.
Damn.
it says I can do things like a shower of
That I
sparks.
rolled a 19.
So I
Yeah,
figure
you could do stuff like that.
figure
19?
I figure bubbles are okay.
Sure.
So just like a little kind of like halo of like the aqueum bubbles just kind of circling.
Oh yeah, let's go. Grim?
What am I doing? Sorry.
Performance check.
Oh,
For striking a pose.
oh, you know it's gonna be bad.
Can't be worse than mine.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, so
Him just sort of picks his nose and
So
farts.
this thing sort of starts and it moves across, and you see just standing there very stoically, no real fanfare or anything, just in his outfit with the mask on. It cuts across Orin, and then it moves, and you see Seti standing there with the crowns and the veil and everything, and it continues to move in front of Mitnir, who's standing there proud and regal, and he strikes such a figure that even like the Crimson Dawn kind of as it reaches him, just like the air around him seems to crackle with electricity in a way that just cuts through the water and just makes like him look impressive and Messiah-like. And then it continues on and dips down to Bropsy's veiled form, and then scoops right back up again, a long pan up the orange, nonsensical tight satin outfit, and gets to this weird, awkward, so tight in his costume that his arms have stayed out as they can't quite touch his body due to the poofs. And he just sits there and looks at them like... And that's what our session today.
It's got that invisible lat syndrome. Arms are
Right.
sticking out.
So I'll try to be less tired before our session next week.
Well,
we've been
next
very
week is
busy.
Christmas Eve. So
Oh, that's true.
I'm assuming we're not
Next
playing.
week I will not be here.
Yeah. Not be here.
A week after next, maybe.
Probably week after next, guys. I will try to be less tired. Everybody have an amazing holiday and New Year if we don't see you before then.
And a great weekend.
I'm sure we'll see you around for some other kind of nonsense. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. And remember, we did
We
it for
did it
the
for
roll.
the rolls.